A very good morning to all of you. Today, our topic of discussion is classification of plant diseases on the basis of symptoms. Here, after the development of the disease, the plant shows some symptoms. On the basis of these symptoms, we can classify the diseases. First of all, we will see what is disease. Actually, the disease is abnormal condition of the host. Abnormal condition of the host. Actually, dis is equal to not and is means easy. Okay, when the disease occur, the condition of the host plant is not comfort or easy. Here, the diseases are classified on the basis of symptoms are as follows. The number 1 is rust, number 2 is smut, number 3rd is mildew, number 4th is root rot, number 5th is blight, number 6th is leaf spot, number 7th is wilt, number 8th is canker, number 9th is fruit rot, and number 10th is chlorosis. Besides this, there are number of disease symptoms like galls, hypertrophy, curls, witch's broom, streak, blotches, necrosis. But here these are the very common symptoms that are seen in the maximum plant diseases. In such cases, it may be seen that the disease derives its name from the type of the characteristic symptom it produces the plant. So, on the basis of symptoms, the plants are classified. Next, see here, this is the first symptom, that is the rust. Here, actually, this is the wheat plant. It shows the symptom rust or the disease which is caused in wheat is rust of wheat. Actually, this disease is caused by a fungus, and the name of the fungus is Vaccinia graminis. Vaccinia graminis. Here, the rust appears in the form of elongated reddish brown pustules, primarily on the stem, followed by leaf sheath and leaves. Thus, the stem is most severely attacked. So, it is known as stem rust. Okay, see here, these are the rusty appearance on the stem, leaves, and the entire plants except the roots. The next slide. See here, in the wheat rust, actually the two stages or two types of spores are formed on the wheat plant. Number 1 is iridospores, these are the iridospores, and second is teletospores, these are the teletospores. Here the iridospores, they are present in the uridinyl stage, or these are the first stage in the wheat rust disease. Here the spores are very small and unicellular. Here the second type of spore, they are teletospores, they are two-celled, black in color. These spores are second type of spore that is seen on the wheat plant. Here the rust disease, actually the rust disease is completed on the two hosts. One is wheat plant and second is barberry plant. And the remaining life cycle of this wheat rust is completed on barberry plant. So, it is known as microcyclic life cycle or heterocyclic life cycle, that is completed in the two hosts. One is wheat plant and second is barberry plant. So, these are the iridospores and these are the teletospores, they are seen on the wheat plant. Next slide. Here the second disease, that is the smut disease. Smut disease. Here the smut disease, the smut disease are of different types. For example, covered smut, loose smut or weak smut. Here the smut pathogen attack especially to the ovary in case of covered smut of grain, covered of smut of grain. Here exclusively the pathogen attack especially to the ovary. The infected ovaries get converted into smut sori. Majority of the grains here are converted into smut sori. These grains are replaced by the oral cylindrical grain-like sac structure, which are 5 to 15 micron meter in length and 3 to 5 micron meter in width. The sac is surrounded by glume at the base. In infected ear, most of the grains modified to sori. So, in this sori, some fungal hyphal threads and numerous spores are present, and these spores are black in color and they look like a black powder. So, here in case of smut symptoms, the ovary or the seed is converted into black sori, and this sori is having black powdery mass inside the sorus, or this disease is known as smut disease. Smut disease. Here the whole grain is converted into sorus. See here, this is the stages in which the whole grain is converted into sorus. Actually, this sorus looks like a seeds of jawar, but it is not seed. Actually, it is black in color. It contains the black powdery mass of the spores. It is very dangerous. When the animals or human being, when they consume, they can face the different diseases. Next slide. This is the third disease, that is the mildew disease. Here all the aerial part of the plants are susceptible to the for attack of the pathogen. The fruit, leaves, tendrils, twigs, shoots, inflorescence are attacked. It has observed that the young shoots and immature fruits are more susceptible. Growing immature leaves, a small oily circular yellowish translucent spot are formed, which are surrounded by oily brown halo appear on the upper surface of the leaf. The spot increase gradually and the brown halo fade up. So, here these are the symptoms of mildew and the best example of downy mildew of grapes. On this downy mildew of grapes, it is very dangerous disease which is caused by Plasmopara viticola, and due to this the yield of the crop is lost. Here the mildew are appear. Here in next slide, these are the berries or fruits of the grapes which is attacked by the pathogen, and this shows the downy growth, cottony downy growth on the leaves, fruits and other part of the plant. Here the inflorescence are highly susceptible. Infected inflorescence first turn yellow brown, later on the affected parts is covered with heavy crowded sporangiophore and the sporangia. During high humid environment at the right period, when young fruits clusters are infected, the entire cluster may die. Sometimes the part of the fruit cluster may die. Individual flowers also susceptible to the influence. So, here the cluster of the fruits is also affected and it falls down. So, ultimately it reduces the yield of the crop. Okay, next disease, that is the next symptom, that is the root rots. Root rots, or it is also known as damping of disease. Okay, here this damping of disease is the best example which is seen in damping of mustard or mohri. Here the damping of disease occur in two stages of plant growth. One is pre-emergence damping off and second is post-emergence damping off. Here in case of pre-emergence damping off, in this case seedlings are get infected in the soil and get rotted before emergence below the soil surface. This is phenomenon is termed as free emergence damping off. Here in case of free emergence damping off, here the seed after germination before coming to the soil, it is present in the soil, and here inside the soil the damping off or root rot is occurred. In the next type of the symptom, that is the post emergence damping off. Here in case of post emergence damping off, the seed germinates and comes out of the soil surface. The radicle of the seedling gets infected by pathogenic fungus found in the soil, causes soft rot disease. Seedling, the infected gradually extend to the delicate stem of the seedling, and the entire seedling collapse after emergence. This is called as post emergence damping off. So, here the one is pre emergence damping off, second is the post emergence damping off. These are the seen in mustard plant. In case of, as I have told here, in case of pre emergence damping off, the germination of the seeds inside the soil are affected, but in case of post emergence damping off, after the emergence of on the soils, the basal part of the stem is collapsed due to the infection of the pathogen. Okay, this is seen in mustard plant or damping of mustard. Next thing, that is the blight. Here this is the example of late blight of potato. Okay, this is very important disease. Due to this disease, there is a famine occurs in one country, and the name of that country is Switzerland. Here the millions of people were died due to this disease, the late blight of. Historically, this disease is very important, and it is caused by Phytophthora infestans. Millions of people are died due to this disease. Okay, see here what happens in this blight disease. Initially, the infected leaf shows small water soaked spots with indefinite margins, especially on the leaves, leaflets or at the tip region. The lesion turns yellowish and then dry up. In this way, the necrotic spots are formed on the leaves. These are the primary symptoms. Later on, the necrotic spots collapse or unite to form large necrotic areas on the leaf surface. The necrotic patches brown to black in color. The chlorotic zone is developed around the necrotic spots or patches. In moist weather or in highly favorable condition, the disease development and reaches to the tubers, and here the tubers are affected and they shows the symptoms on the tubers. Here this fungus attack to the tubers also. Okay, these are the tubers. On these tubers, small or large patches of pathogens are seen. Okay, this is the blight of potato. Okay, next symptom, that is the leaf spot disease. Okay, this leaf spot disease is very common, and this is the example of groundnut disease, leaf spot of groundnut disease. Okay, this disease is caused by one fungus, and the name of that fungus is Cercospora personata, and another species of this disease is Cercospora rachidicola. Cercospora personata is one species, and second species is Cercospora personata. And Cercospora rachidicola. Okay, these are the two species of Cercospora. They causes the leaf spot disease in groundnut, or it is botanically known as Rachis hypogaea. Actually, it is economically important crop. Here, all the parts in leaf spot disease, all the parts of the ground plant which are above the ground level get affected or attacked by the fungus. Mostly the plant get affected at the age of 2 months old. The lesions appears on the leaves which remain up to the harvest period of the crop. During severe cases, the disease development, the lesion appears on all the parts of except the roots. The disease is caused by 2 different fungus, just I have told you. Here, in this case, the Cercospora causes this disease and it shows the leaf spots. The leaf spot may be small and the leaf spot may be large, but here these leaf spots are formed. Okay. So, this is the second. Next example, next slide in case of wilt. See here, this is the wilt symptoms. Actually, wilt means drying of the entire plant. Here, the disease, see here, after the symptoms of the wilt, here the disease occur only the vascular plant, in the vascular plant. Here the vascular cells are xylem and phloem. Blockage takes place due to the fungus. Here this fungus attack to the vascular system. Due to that, the transport of water does not take place. Due to that, the wilt of the plant is occur. The wilt of the plant is occur. Here, this is the best example which are seen in wilt of pigeon pea. Okay, this is very common disease in India and other countries like Kenya and Tanzania. Here, the pathogen actually infect the host at any stage of development, from seedling stage to the adult stage. All the stage of the plant growths are highly susceptible to the fusarium causing wilt disease. Here, the fungus fusarium that causes the wilt disease. Here, the aerial part are generally dry up, and due to that, in the abundant water, the plant become scarty. The plant become yellow and it looks like a scarcity of the water. But in case of abundant of the water, the plants does not become green as they become dry and dry and dry. They looks like a very dry. Okay, when we split the stem, the infected plant shows dark red color vessel due to the infection of the fungus. Okay, this is the symptoms in the last stage in the vascular system. We can see the dark strips in the stem. Here, the hyphae produce red color pigment inside the vessel. In case of the partial wilting, some part of the plant get dried. The severely affected plants in the field sometimes shows naked cottony growth on the stem near the soil surface. In severe condition, at the base of the plant near the soil surface, they shows the cottony outgrowth. Cottony outgrowth. Okay, so these are the some symptoms. On the basis of these symptoms, we can classify the plant disease. Later on, in the second online lecture, we will continue with this canker symptoms. Canker symptom. So, thank you all of you. We will meet in the second lecture of this remaining with, that is the classification of plant diseases on the basis of symptoms. So, this is very important with, as if you are familiar with the symptoms and the causal organisms, definitely it helps in the